guess the biggest success that I seen in our unit was for the very first time, right when school was out, they held what's called Camp Blue here in Billings. So I believe we had approximately 23 students, and that student age was leaving sixth grade going into seventh grade. So that middle high age, still really easy to build those relationships, have positive interactions, and kind of mold those students to go a certain way. So this was a complete 5-day course. It wasn't just in and out. We started the day with team building, physical fitness stuff, and then we interacted all the specialties in our department. SWAT, bomb, canine, detectives came in and gave all these students like a kind of just a brief educational blurb on like what their units do in the department. These days for us were 10-hour days. They were 8-hour. It was a 40-hour block for the students. So we really got to have like positive interaction with those students. And no doubt in my mind that we reached a large majority of them and had a big impact on them. Biggest safety issue is that mass casualty incident that we're going to face in a school. And, you put an SRO in each school. That's one SRO for like Billings West High School here in Billings. It's the largest high school in the state. You got 2,000 students. If somebody wants to take the time and place to plan something, you got 2,000 students plus staff in one small area. That's an ideal place. When I was growing up, social media wasn't a thing. Well, now we got Facebook, we got Snapchat. Bullying and harassment, I would say, are probably the most common. And the hardest part for that is, sure, I can monitor the schools, teacher can monitor the schools, and we can, see if a student's being bullied. But with social media in today's day and age, these students can be bullied by a predator or another student from a different city. So it's just hard. And I think that's where it's super important for parents to have education on that. But not only that, but like monitor what their kids are doing on those platforms. When I give trainings and I tell our community is 90% of police work is reactive. We react. We're responding to a crime that's already occurred. The great thing about being in a school and school resource officers is hopefully like we're not just dealing with crime. We're not dealing with a kid bringing a vape to school or bringing alcohol to school or a sex crime. I think our officers do a great job with that positive interaction with the students and with the staff. And that is where the deterrent of crime with those positive relationships starts. Another big example of that is just the attitude of an SRO is going in and dealing with something as simple as an MIP, not just ending it with an MIP. That MIP, it's going to be bad for that kid right away, but we can follow up with that kid and we can build a relationship on that MIP and give them some education on what that can lead down. And I mean, ultimately build it into a friendship. So I guess taking everything that we can to the extra step in a positive light, I think is the biggest way that we can contribute to safety in our schools. The purpose of our kids going to school and their right is to get an education. They can't get a full education if they're worried about not feeling safe at school. It's our job to make sure that they feel safe. So that's ultimately like our number one as SROs. So the advice I would give is being able to evolve your mindset. We're not just there as a cop. We are there as a police officer, and to make sure that crime isn't committed. If it is, it's dealt with. But our utmost priority is the safety of the schools, the staff, and the students. But then secondly, we're educators. We're teachers. Like I said, somebody gets an MIP. It's not just our job to give them that citation and say, hey, all right, you're suspended for this long. That comes from the administration, but that's what's going to happen. Here's your court date. See you later. It's our responsibility to touch base with them after and educate them. If they would rather come and talk to an SRO than go talk to their school counselor, like we need to be there for that to happen. That's what I'm rolling into is somebody new coming into this position, like has to fully grasp and understand what all it takes to be a successful SRO, to do the best job and be the most effective that they can.